today's video, we're going to going over this really fun trend that's going on right now, and me and my daughter blocked out, and it's super blonde, and then copper behind that. And so we did a version of that with the highlights being sort of peachy, still really bright, and the back is copper and like fun and vivid. And I did add a couple techniques to it just to give it a little bit more visual depth. Hello, my fellow stylists, enthusiasts, and friends. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, thank you for stopping by. I'm Maureen Moody, and I'm the Curious Stylist. And if you're curious, nerding out on hair color is fun for you, then you may want to stick around. And to all my returning subscribers, you already know that we're all color geeks here. So I am testing out Oligo's reds, and this is their permanent hair color line, Calura. Now this girl Fallon had come in, and I wanted to use the Calura and to see how their coppers and all their beautiful colors work. So in the front, we lightened her with black lights, coolest tone blonde or something like that. It gives up to 8 levels of lift, and it has a lot of conditioning buffers and amino acids, 11 amino acids, to really help protect the hair. And I'm really liking the condition of the hair when I'm done with working this lightener. If you want to know my thoughts and opinions of the black light series compared to like Blonde Me or any Schwarzkopf bleach, let me know, and I will do a video on the comparison between the two. Just leave me a comment below if you guys are interested in that. So what we did was we put that Oligo Coolest Blonde on her front. That has up to 8 levels lift. We used 10 volume, and we were very gentle. Now I did not put the lightener on her ends. We put conditioner on her ends. Her ends were already really light. She had had this done before, so this is her second time, and we just kept the foils, like we sandwiched the foils on one on top of the other, so that the regrowth wouldn't touch her ends. So we put the 10 volume on the regrowth, painted the ends with conditioner, and then placed another foil on top so that they wouldn't cross-contaminate. So for her root area or regrowth area, we mixed about 30 grams. She probably looks like she's about a 40 gram kind of gal, but we used 30 grams because the front part was already foiled, and I ended up doing a little trick around the hairline where the foils are so that the red didn't cross-contaminate as much. So we're going to talk about that, but right now I'm going to give you the formula for her root. She's about a natural level 6.5. So what we mixed up was 15 grams of 8G, 5 grams of 8N, and 10 grams of 8KR with 20 volume, and we put that throughout the most of the back and the top of her head. Now there is like a 1-inch space around the foils where I just went in with 8N, and it was just a 1-inch barrier so that it didn't go onto those foils and bleed too much red on it. And that's kind of like a fun little trick. So that halo area where the foils and the red is, right in that in between barrier, for about a 1/2 inch to an inch, I put neutral in that area on the roots so that it wouldn't get too bright and contaminate the foils area. So we put that all the way through her hair on her. So I had 3 reasons for using a permanent color over the Oligo glosses to refresh her ends. Reason number 1 is I wanted more longevity with this red. So I chose to go with a permanent color because it ends up giving a better longevity and refreshing her ends. It goes a little bit deeper. Reason number 2 is I find that there's also more vibrancy in reds when you choose to use a permanent color over the glosses. Reason number 3 was because I'm still new to this color line. I knew that this trick is going to work. It is foolproof. So those were the reasons why I picked a permanent color moving forward. Now there is tricks to using permanent color, especially when you're working on reds. They are tricky. So you want to make sure that when you mix your end formula, you're going to mix it 1 part color to 1 1/2 parts peroxide. So with this color and the kind of technique that we're doing, we really wanted to make sure that the front and the back did not cross-contaminate. So rinsing this hair color is just as important as the application. So when we went to do her back, we rinsed out the red and the copper completely and washed all of that out before we took the foils down. And by using the Black Light Coolest Blonde with the 8 levels of lift, and I only used 10 volume at her regrowth, it lifted her exactly where I wanted her to be, and it kept her hair really healthy. And because she processed for the full 45 minutes, it came out perfect. Now, I did process the red and the copper for the last 25 minutes on her ends. And you want to check that halfway through to see how it's processing. You're going to rub it off and look at it. And you're going to have to use a spray bottle, because what happens is the color that is still on the hair is going to affect the way that it looks when you rinse it. And it can look really scary while it's processing. It looks like really, really vivid, almost like it's a direct dye. I was a little nervous with this one, I'll be honest with you, as I was watching it process. And we took her down in 25 minutes, but I was really hoping that she didn't mind it being super bright, because that's what it looked like while I was test stranding her. But it came out exactly what she wanted it to look like. So like I said, we rinsed her back out and washed it out first. And then we took the other highlights out, and then we rinsed them and washed them. And then what we did was we used a gloss. So on her highlighted pieces in the front, we used Schwarzkopf's 9.5-46 and 8N. So what we did was we painted the 9.5-46 from roots to ends on her highlighted pieces, and then we went back in with the 8N, and by layering the 8N on top of that, it's kind of closer to a 9. So it deepened her roots so that they looked more even as it went from root to ends, so that the root was a little deeper and her ends were a little brighter, and it gave a nice peachy finish. I am going to be playing around with the Oligo's glosses so I can recreate it with their brand, but I knew what I needed to do with Schwarzkopf because I've been familiar with that product. I hope you liked that video, and if you did, please smash the like button. I really had fun with this particular color, and she loved it. Now come back next week where I'm going to be doing a 3-part series on Oligo's Funk Hues and the steps that I took to make this girl a vibrant, fun sunset horizon. So thank you for stopping by, and I'm Maureen Moody. I'm the Curious Stylist, and I look forward to seeing you next week.